good afternoon, everyone. I'm Karen. I'm from TTG Asia Media, and I'm really happy to be back here in Bangkok. I was able to catch up with a few old friends in the morning, and it was really exciting to be able to meet face-to-face with everyone. So, like my colleague Lynette has introduced, this session is going to be focusing on what the future holds for us. So to set the stage for our conversation later, I would like to invite Mr. Chirut Isarankun Ayutthaya, the President of the Thailand Convention and Exhibitions Bureau, up on stage.
Thank you, Karen. You always beautiful with the dress with the sneaker now. The world has changed. So good afternoon and sawadee krab, every one of you. I would like to welcome all of you to Bangkok, Thailand. I would like to thank Mr. Darren from TTG, especially for organizing this show and still believing in Thailand. So my thanks go to all the viewers for your time, and also all the panelists that will come up, including Ms. Walkin Wong from ICA. She is here and she can share more, please. She's regional director of Asia Pacific for ICA, and we are hopefully that we will work so close, especially next year. Kun Buntawi, the president site of SITE Thailand, who's everywhere, is one of the Thailand strength of industry that passed through 2 years that we worked together, and everyone's here. And so I would like to first discuss about the topic that I was assigned to speak to is about the onwards and upwards. So I will start with the trends that have begun and will grow further in the future of our industry. So there will be examples of the innovations and the story that I would like to share. TCEP has conducted a study on the trends that will shape and become a new rule for Thai MICE industry, and including for the world industry. As I have 10 minutes of this topic, so I will go highlight for the 3 new rules. First is phygital. Second is embedded wellness. And third is inclusivity. So phygital, we start with the phygital. Phygital is a term showing a blur borderline between physical and digital. After the widespread use of online technology during the past 2 years that we experienced, integrating digital and physical can become the new rule. It can create a more meaningful space or unique interactive experience. This is where people can act both channels, where pre-event, during events, and post-event convenience can be delivered. So in that sense, digital is not a disruption to physical meeting, but it's a helpful tool to widen and fulfill our physical experience. An exceptional example is one of the travel booking platform called iGoRoom. It is a virtual reality online hotel booking service. It offers VR and AI content for room, property, and surrounding viewing that makes visitors feel like they were there. A kind of immersive experience, a sense of up close and personal to incentivize their on-site visit and stay. That means we are long for face-to-face interaction in-person interaction, and it confirmed that in-person interaction can ensure trust and confidence in networking. Direct experience remains the key. But digitalization can help widen audience reach beyond physical space, help event safety management. Digitalization can be a marketing tool transforming online viewers into on-site audience. So our MICE workforce must be prepared for, and we need to maximize the phygital. Now we come to the trendy term, embedded wellness, a result from the fact that we have been bombarded with health issues. Challenging situation has generated the mega load of information, forcing us to be overstimulating. I hope that everyone agree on that. And that is called for mental wellness and physical wellness at the events. How to enjoy healthy experience, how to avoid meeting fatigue, how to digest content at ease. So we cannot let the wellness be a term only, but it must be embedded in the meeting. It raises a question of how to embed wellness for events or into product offering. One of the good examples is Delta Airlines, which they're partnering with the fitness company called Peloton to provide free well-being and fitness classes on its flights, guided meditation, gentle seat experiences. It's embedded wellness in the sky. For the meeting industry, we have to define and design wellness solution for each type of event, in each environment, and for the demographic of attendees. So embedded wellness is becoming a quality or the new benchmark for all of us in MICE industry. Can digitalization play a part of embedded wellness? Let's think and design together. The third new rule that I'd like to share today is inclusivity. It is becoming a key requirement for all. Inclusivity means accessibility for all, respect for diversity, and helping local communities. Our industry must enhance accessibility for all people, regardless of their physical or intellectual limitation. I have example of one of the mapping system called Wheel the World. It's a leading travel booking company, combines technology and crowdsourcing. They have called the system AMS, which is Accessibility Mapping System. By using the system, travelers can find details of accessibility information about not only accommodation, but destinations and experiences in over 25 countries now. So again, you can see that technology can be instrumental. Utilize it to enhance our accessibility performance. For diversity, we need to design and deliver products and services that meet the need of diverse cultures, of delegates, and individual condition, and represent the demographic and gender participants. We must take into account background and identity of event attendees. For example, dietary requirements, religious observance, pregnant delegates, for example, cultural sensitivity, and many more. So we have to be mindful because we have to accept the fact that we are experiencing more diverse generations, more diverse ethnic groups, and more diverse beliefs. The last element of inclusivity is in MICE industry is engagement with local communities. At the present day, travelers demand more and more authentic experiences with local culture and local identities. MICE industry must never treat local communities as one-sided product that meet our needs and expectations. But we must design our program and activities that contribute to their livelihood, their culture, and identities. So the key is how meeting must be able to produce measurable legacies for all local communities. So now the question is, how should we deal with the three new rules: digital, embedded wellness, and inclusivity? So I have two keywords: human tech and human touch. Our industry is a matter of bringing humans to be in touch with each other or one another. Human tech is a development of use of technology to improve our quality and standard of living. Human tech is a broad coverage. For example, investment in technology for infrastructure expansion, like high-speed train, dual rail that now Thailand, we're going forward to that, so that travelers have better access to destination or better connection between destinations. Investment in technology to improve venue performance, for instance. Investment in digital payment to save time and better digital content management. Investment in support services, application to help delegates in need to special assistance. More important of human tech is investment in capacity building for manpower to be tech-wise. That will make technology a real human tech. Last but not least is that I would like to talk about today is human touch. Products, services, activities, or any arrangement of events must be designed with care, attention, and heartfelt attitude. Designed to offer that makes people feel value with events and feel value with themselves. Culture and identities of destinations are the soft side. Culture and identities of destination are the soft side that can deliver human touch. Engage delegates with local communities. Let them experience local way of life, local wisdom, and local products. And the most important of it all, let them contribute to the locals. The local communities are not just a venue to meet, but a sense of human during events. Or help delegates respond to the global call on sustainability practice at the local level. Make them raise, they can produce quantifiable legacies. We have seen new rules, human tech, and human touch. So it's a very good opportunity for us all here to have new inputs for our industry. TCEP, the Thailand Convention and Exhibition Bureau, we will continue to make commitment to finding new ideas, new creativities, new solutions, but we cannot do it alone. May I ask all of you from the friends from all over the world, friends in Thailand, association, everyone, both government and private sectors, to join hands, importantly, form the partnership to produce the new inputs for our industry. then we can walk our talk firmly in the future together. So thank you very much for your attention. ขอบคุณครับ
Thank you, Khun Chirut, for warming us up. So now, if you could allow me to introduce the following, sorry, give me a minute. Now I'd like to invite three well-respected industry colleagues to join us for the second part of the opening keynote. Can I have Khun Max Jantasuan, the President of SITE Thailand Chapter? Next, we'll have Supanik Tien Singh, Director of Meetings and Incentives Department, TSEP. And now we have Wai Kin Wong, Regional Director, Asia Pacific, ICA. Now, business travel and events organizations have all reported a swifter than expected return of activity in recent months this year. So I would love to find out how swift is that return. Perhaps you can start with Khun Max, will you take us through the incentive travel market and specifically for Thailand and also the state of forward demand for incentive travel?
Yeah, absolutely. So first of all, it's a very good afternoon to all of you that, joining the IT and CMA today. I think from your question, it's actually so true because from my observation from both my roles as the president of SITE, for those of you that don't know SITE is the only organization that internationally focusing on incentive travel. And from my observation, there are two areas that I've been observing since, I would say, Thailand and the regional lifted the pandemic restriction. Number one, all the corporate buyers start to travel, to plan. Like one of my members from one of the very big corporate in Thailand start to travel out already because she's been waiting for a very long time to reorganize the incentive travel again for her members. Secondly, from the peers, the DMC members under SITE and also TICA, which is I'm also the vice president, they start to be very busy since July. Like inquiries start to come in and there's not enough time for them to prepare because the incentive has been held back for a long time. And so yeah, from my observation, things start to come back unexpectedly, but it's up to the DMC or the hotel to be ready and then grab the opportunity. So yeah, it's absolutely like overwhelming, but it's a good problem.
Yeah, in fact, I've been telling a lot of friends here at the show that, someone hit the fast forward button without giving us any warning and we've been like flying forward. Now, Khun Max, many destinations use the long travel disruption to upgrade their experiences for visitors. So does it mean that it is now a treasure trove of new experiences waiting for top achievers?
Absolutely, especially Thailand, like Khun Chirut mentioned. We took the pandemic years, I call it pandemic years, to really develop both the products and the software. So Thailand has been very fortunate with the strong, active organization like TSEP. So they have been, doing a lot of development on the products update to the DMC within the country because we couldn't have any international visitor at that time. So all the DMC that remains are very knowledgeable with the destination and at the same time, they can get to develop the products for the incentive travelers, especially the top achiever. And at the same time, the software, which is the people, TSEP has been already doing a lot of training and making sure that during the pandemic time when there wasn't not much of the business, we develop the people. We look after the new generation to support the industry in the future. So with both, I'm pretty sure that, especially Thailand, we are when they come to Thailand because we don't necessarily to sell the same product. But now we have the knowledge, so we develop that. Because I told my members and my team all the time that you can sell the same destination, but you need to add in what, can bring the better experience and the new experience. So that is something that we are doing right now as a DMC. But the customer love it because even though they've been to Thailand many times, especially Bangkok. But with the time that we have learned and developed, we can think the different way. Like Khun Chirut mentioned, it's absolutely true. Like local community engagement, what else that you can bring the local wisdom into the program. So yeah, we pretty ready, I would say that, especially for Thailand, when the top achiever of incentive come, they will really have a great experience.
Wonderful. Thank you, Max. Wai Kin, what is your members' appetite for association meetings around the globe? And how does the meetings...
Yeah, thanks for the questions. And then I think Max also bringing a lot of ideas about how is that recovery. First thing first, that from the association point of view, that we know association engagement, member engagement, educations, knowledge exchange shouldn't be restricted or shouldn't be stopped, even by the pandemic years. And if you're looking at the ICA destination index performance, you will see that's pretty much like the business non-stop. You mentioned about recovery. Yes, I would say in Asia Pacific, we are experiencing a good recovery. Like this year, we talk about reopen, and then now economy recovery. Give you one example, like in Thailand, that's a lot of activities and international travelers coming in. Plus, I must say, and I must acknowledge in a way that in Asia Pacific, there are still many destinations that haven't really relaxed fully on the travel. Or I would, like for international travelers compared to Europeans and in US. But in a way that we will see in comparison that we are actually kind of like open up already and then moving. Hopefully there will be definitely be on track, like in comparison on Latin America and also Africa, they're all open. So here to conclude in a way that yes, we are reopened, we are recovery, but there are still competitions. The competitions regionally and also like in between the regions as well.
Okay. Khun Kay, TCEP shared some very positive news when it led a strong calendar of events for 2022 and next year. Now, because not everyone were, in the audience was in the Singapore Forum, so maybe let's revisit this topic. Can you tell us, what sort of events were the first, the fastest to return to Thailand, and what clues do they bring, about the appetite of event owners and organizers?
Thank you, Karen, and good afternoon to you all. Thailand MICE industry is showing the good sign of recovery. We have seen a positive outlook for business returns, especially for the corporate market that adapt to change more quickly than other sectors in organizing meeting and incentive travel. Since March, when Thailand started to reopening our borders, we have welcomed over 100,000 international visitors to Thailand, and 70% of that is came from meeting and incentive or MI. And we see many smaller group coming because of the hybrid has significantly impacted business events. However, mid to large group size still exists. One of a large-scale group size from a well-known direct selling company just finished their events in August, which have approximately 10,000 delegates from 50 countries, and that is the biggest ones of the business events since country reopening borders. In 2022, we are seeing the most of MI group coming to Thailand from the short-haul market. India is the leading country, thank you to that, and followed by Malaysia and Singapore. So it's a strong sign that a country in short-haul market will be leading for the recovery. So the travel distance will be critical for traveling. So when looking at the destination in Thailand, Bangkok and Phuket still the top choices. However, there is an indication that people will looking to more and more at the smaller cities or other alternative cities. Like for example, for the MI group, we have an inquiry for Hua Hin and Krabi and also Khao Lak. This three city is a seaside destination in the southern part of Thailand. So it's a strong sign again that, this oceanic setting is preferable for rehabilitation, after the 2 years of travel restriction. Another thing that worth mentioning is that people are, event owner and organizer is looking for a dual location. Like there are increased demand for the two destination. We have an inquiry that to combine destination like Bangkok, Hua Hin, or Phuket and Krabi. One is the well-known city, and another one is, Laising or smaller cities. So we can expect that the event owner or organizers will be more cautious on designing the experience for their delegates and choosing destination, and the lead time will be getting shorter and shorter.
Now, Khun Kee, those are interesting points because, a lot of destinations so that more people in the community can benefit from business, so that helps, yeah? Wai Kin, as meetings get back on track, do you see virtual-only event formats being discarded quicker than expected this year? And, at the same time, are association meeting planners changing their opinion of hybrid events? So basically, are hybrid events still the way to go?
It is. And face-to-face meetings and events definitely back. And that's everyone's looking forward to. And again, though, it's really depending on the nature of the associations. It's also look at the geographical, demographical, or the nature. Having said that, say, for example, in US, there is this called duty of care. There are many of the association's members may not able to travel out to US, so hybrid digital will be the solutions. That's definitely. And it will be interesting also, yes, the pandemic years, the past years has been quite difficult. But again, like what Khun Chinrut was saying, that it's allowed us to become more innovative in a way that are able to connect. You will see from the ICA destinations index that non-mainstream, what I'm saying is non-mainstream associations meeting are more digital. So it kind of like raised for 40% because that's enabled them to connect. So I personally think face-to-face, that's the way. Hybrid, like as a provider or congress or conference provider, we need to equip ourselves, prepare ourselves to enable to provide options to the clients so that we are prepared. In a way, when there is inquiry, we'll be able to kind of like help them on a different scenario planning, because like to help them to decide what will be better fit to their objective or reach out to their members.
Okay. So Wai Kin, how do you define non-mainstream associations?
A less coordinated medical science and educations are on the mainstream, where always on the top 5. There is a lot of program. I'll give you one example, like historical science. That is more on the research and academy. That's where you don't need to have a lot of coordination whereby they can connect each other, all the scientists. Digital. And then you will see that it's a huge kind of like rise on the meetings is being more active in the past 2 years.
Okay. Since the joy of travel reward, is best obtained in person, right? So, but can technology be used to enhance the incentive travel experience?
Well, yes and no. To me, I would feel that technology can help on the planning part. How the incentive houses or the DMC can really present the destination in the digital way to the customer. So that will help to make the customer feel a little bit understand, and also feel like, okay, this is the destination, this is the activities and so on. But again, incentive travel is all about experiential. So I have witnessed some of the digital incentive or online incentive. It didn't work. No. To me, I feel like, and not only to me, the customer themselves as well, they feel like you cannot reward the incentive delegates with, you know, the online or the virtual one. So, yeah, can help on the planning part, enhancing on some of the elements during the real experience. For example, the gala dinner, to really have some very beautiful and fancy kind of light and sound technology-wise. But other than that, it has to be in person. It has to be face-to-face. And yeah, so that I would say can help, but not like 100%. I would say 15%.
Yeah, okay. Yeah, so not technology hasn't really helped all segments of MICE, right? Yeah. Okay. Khun Kay, business events experienced very rapid innovation over the last 2 years, particularly in the digitalization of events while people stayed home. How do you see the motivations behind events innovation changing now that people can travel again for meetings? And how is TCEP helping, industry players to keep innovating for the better, and in which areas?
Okay. Face-to-face of digital too can help to in facilitating and implementing the events and also enhancing experience, like Khun Viking mentioned. So it will be a joint effort between both sides. And I believe that virtual event will not completely, replace face-to-face meeting, especially for MI group, that direct experience is the key and the core. And also true for the professional networking for the convention, that the true trust and confidence will be enhanced by face-to-face interaction. So in conclusion, face-to-face meeting will continue with the digitalization filling the certain gap, like reducing some, time-consuming processes, multiplying expected results, or expanding, audience list beyond the physical space. So that will be, digitalized. Will be filling the gap. And on the TCEP part, we have been supporting events professional on digitalization and innovation to we call the MICE Innovation Project. And we create the MICE Innovation Catalog and also the TechnoMarch, which provide a business matching platform, and also digital workshop, and the Inno Voucher, which provide funding scheme for hybrid exhibitors of all sizes to promote innovation implementation. And our next step is to evaluate the actual of digitalization effectiveness on the scientifically proven basis, whether we can utilize all of digitalized service.
Okay. For the travel, tourism, and events businesses, right? It has become an employees market now, and hirers are coming up with innovative ways to attract, retain, and train its people. So how do you see your organization, contributing to the talent shortage solution? We can start with Khun Max. So how is SITE helping its members with resource matters?
Yeah, that's the real big problem right now, I would say. As you know, that SITE really promote the young leaders. As the headquarters, we do have a program called SITE Young Leader Conference. Every year, we, try to develop the next generation in the industry. For Thailand, especially, we are also following that, direction. I think next week, SITE Thailand is going to sign some MOU with the university to really develop and co-create some of the, young generation for the industry. So we feel that with the core pillars of SITE, we promote the networking. We also promote the young leader in all the pillars as well. So step by step, I think Thailand chapter is going to follow and try to encourage the young leader to join our industry more. I think that's the number one problem, because with this pandemic, the young leader may feel that tourism may not be prosper, but we have to do differently. So that's why during this time, we are going to promote and try to work more with the universities. Like, I think what the ITCMA is doing for the young leader is also excellent. So we're trying to tap those kind of community and tell them about how great is our industry, especially incentive travel. So we start with doing that MOU with the universities, and then, exchange not only the trainee or the internship, but also exchange the opportunity for the student to join and try with the international association like SITE. So that we are doing a small step. But of course, TCEP and our fellow association like TICA has been already doing, but we're doing in a little bit different way on the incentive travel focus. So yeah, that we think the only way that we can help the shortage of the manpower. We can't really pull the engineer right now, like at the age of 40 to come and work for the DMC. We can just maybe build from the small, young leader from the university side. So that's what SITE Thailand is doing right now.
So we're dependent on us ourselves to convey the positive message of this career, of this profession, right?
And we need to, because they may not see it. They can just see that with this pandemic hit Thailand and the global very badly, some of the students already almost quit, like, oh, I'm not going to study hospitality anymore, something like that. So that thing happened in some of the inside thought of the students. So that we're trying to maybe raise it awareness a little bit, like, hey, don't worry, because tourism is not going to die. People still have to travel, and especially MICE is part of the motivational, especially incentive. That's something we need to educate. They would not know until maybe at a late stage. So that's...
Yeah, tourism can't die. I mean, exploration has been in existence since the caveman age, right? Skilling programs or any campaigns to attract young talents?
We do. Similar to SITE or similar to Max was saying that the youth or the younger generations that definitely we need to nurture or coach. Another point of view is that we need to also let them understand what is business event about. And we ourselves, as senior, that will be in a way to attract them, to tell them that being recognized, our industry should be being recognized. Even like we should treasure like what we are doing. It's not just about like, it's basically beyond tourism. Like you are actually contribute to the local community. Like ICA started this year, we actually worked with Goyang Convention Bureau, together with Penang Convention Bureau, that we launched the first Youth Asia Challenge program that will be continuing, and then we'll expand for the university students as well as the youth. And also we are actually working, like ICA Asia Pacific per se, our office is actually working with our members locally or destination, go deep into like, to understand what's the gap. One of the things that we also create some platform to enable all the members to share some case studies. Like, number one is how to work with the youth and what's going on and where they can attract manpower, how to retain. So that's what we are doing. And to answer your questions, ICA does now have a certifications program that will help the business event ecosystem. Was talking about the ICA scale that consists of 7 modules in looking at a full holistics on what is business event or destination marketing about. So yeah.
Okay. So the certification would target mid-career switchers or professionals?
Two group of for the new entry. So that's on the certificates. And then for those that really interested or with some experience would like to continue on the executive levels. Yeah.
Okay. Khun Kay, could you tell us about TCEP's initiatives to attract new talents?
Yeah, one of the is to develop manpower and workforce standards and also professionalism. And we have my capability development department dedicated to that mission. And they don't work alone. They work together with our partner, local university, local authorities, and also local association, like Matt mentioned, SITE Thailand, TICA. And they cover for the entire ecosystem of MICE industry, from grooming the next generation of leaders in the economic institution, and also upskilling the current workforce to drive the industry. And the development and, the capacity building is not only for the MICE personnel, but TCEP has created, a program to tap into MICE stakeholder in organization level to help them enhance new business opportunities. And for now, over 1,400 event professionals have been certified with the global recognition qualification. Like we work together with Site Thailand to certify CIS, CITP, and we work together with others associations to certify like SEPC, CEM, CMP, like that. And we ran incentive course as well. We call hybrid and hygiene, or 2HY, to prepare our MICE operator for the new change of the entire, MICE industry, and and also the courses of digital strategy, strategy on digital events, and of course sustainability that we're focusing on right now.
Now, about, right? Did you also see the last 2 years getting more industry professionals wanting to upgrade their skills and coming in for your programs that you offer?
Yes. Absolutely. I think everybody will want to spend the time with some upskill, reskill, like site members and TICA members. Always like we have more certified kind of person for our program, because site we have CIS, like Kun K mentioned, and CITP for the advanced level of certification. So yeah, especially in Thailand, we tend to use that time to reskill and upskill and to understand more of what else they can learn from different certification program. And so we love to learn.
That's encouraging to know, because we heard of the term, the Great Resignation a lot. The industry has lost quite a bit of talent. So those who actually chose to stay put and invest in upskilling means that they're going to stay put with us for a long time to come, right? Okay. As Asia Pacific's MICE industry gets on with recovery, what would you say are the most critical enablers for business to build back stronger and faster? Could Max go for it?
That's a tough question. It's very, I wouldn't say critical, but it is critical because now we don't have enough professionals that ready for the visit that coming back. Like as I mentioned, since July until now, my fellow DMC members and friends here, they are very busy because as soon as Thailand opened and lifted, the inquiries start to come, and we could not handle it very well. So what I would like to mention that is, how can we get the people fast enough? How can the DMC companies in Thailand get the professional one to really cope with that kind of volume that comes in, especially incentive travel, because they have been holding back for many years, like 2.5 years, including the planning and the preparation part. And some of my inquiries that has been postponing, they grow from 700 to 1,100 now, because they were so excited that they can get to travel. So that extent. So yeah, how can we, I think as a whole industry, get enough resource, especially human resources, to cope with that? Because as the owner of the companies, we are struggle to be able to, and I have to be turning down. I'm not showing it off, but I just mention it because I want to share. We have to turn down some of the inquiry that want to include the destination to be on the tender, but we just cannot handle.
Cannot cope, huh?
Yeah, so this is, I would say, critical. So I don't know how can we cope together for that. But we just hope that now each of the company we have to find a way to really cope with that. Otherwise, it's a opportunity loss.
Yes,
that's
right.
I wouldn't want Thailand and the Asia Pacific countries fellow to have that, because we are the very beautiful destination. So people want to come anyway, but we just cannot handle them.
Yes, that's right. To emphasize how busy he is, right after this panel, he has to dash off to fly to Chiang Mai for site inspection for an American incentive group that's coming here. I hope you get the business. Yeah.
I already got it.
Oh, that's good.
I just want to see the whole
wonderful
program.
Wai Kin, what do you think? It's the most critical enabler for business to get back now.
I think we need to work together. I mean, like our, how can I put it, expertise and also share together at all levels. When I say at all levels, like Max, you have to fly and do the groundworks now. So that's to build stronger. And I must say, in a way, when looking at in a general view, I must anchor what TSEP have presented just now, the three key elements on the inclusive physical, free digital, and the
embedded
wellness.
wellness.
Yes. So that's in somehow that you prepare yourself in a more holistic way. I must say, like, just now we talk about, like, we may not have a solution right now, but at least we be resistant. We still go back to be resistant, and then we be agile, we'll be able to kind of like flexibly to manage. Yeah, that's on the human connection business.
Thank you, Wai Kin. And Kun Kay, what do you think?
Yeah, I agree with, and I can speak on behalf of the destination that travel is increased right now. So we anticipate that accessibility and flight frequency to the destination is a necessity. So we need to looking into that. We have a lot of, overwhelming inquiry from international to come to Thailand, but they cannot come because of the flight frequency. And also NT scheme and support and facilitative role from the destination will also be a key element to bring back the business return. So the destination must design them to help our clients to save time, reduce processes, or even lower some event costs. Working with stakeholders together to provide some most appealing deals or campaign or add-on value to client could be part of this, to bring back the business. Yeah.
Can I add something? I think we are also, our industry professional also move to other industry during the pandemic. So I must say that some of the DMC project manager may move to be working as an influencer or any other things that during the pandemic. So that's something also quite critical. But now the business is coming back. How can we attract them back? Yeah.
Or people from other industry, because when I read the PwC Pricewaterhouse research, the great resonations is actually across all the industry.
Yes.
Like some of the furniture industry people, they want to go back to their own,
The pandemic is a bit of an awakening for a lot of us to reevaluate our values in life and our priorities as well, So I would like to give some time to the audience. If you've got questions for our panelists, this is the time to speak up. There are mics on the aisle, so if you have questions, just step up and just you could just speak into the mic there. We've got one coming up. Nope, he's not.
Talent moving away, people getting a bad taste in their trade, and she just mentioned that this happened across. So it's, the people are feeling the grass is greener on the other side. Do you foresee the talent to come back to you? Come back to their original profession, because most of them have changed their professions. So are you seeing that trend?
Ladies first.
I cannot answer your questions, but especially for our industry, business event industry, we need to be proud on what we are doing, like what I said just now, and that's something that's shared by one of our senior. He kind of like a wake-up call for him when one of his junior wanted to resign and tell him that I don't want to be with you. I don't want to be like you because you work this hard. So in a way, it is us that being proud of what we do and also need to be recognized on our industry that we actually bringing value. And the way we talk to the junior or our team, that we should be motivated, not always talking about, hey, it's long hours, or like it's tedious, but we should look at the positive side on how we can, well, our job is to be a facilitator and actually contributed to the society or the community development. I mean, that's something that we should be recognized, and that's something that we should be communicated to everyone. Yeah, that's how I see it.
I think for individuals, it really differs. There will always be some people who have a strong passion for our profession and for our job, right? So for reasons of survival, they may have had to leave the last 2 years, but if business is coming back, they would want to come back again. But then, of course, on the other side, you also have people who are just happy to leave and just use this as the pandemic as an excuse to get out and try something else that's different. So it really depends on who you speak to.
For me, I have a strategic, but I like your question, sir. Really, really good question. But if I myself, what I would do is, I'm not going to go after the one that left. I'm going to attract the one that may not know what our industry is about yet. In two levels. The very small scale level, like a company, we have to make sure that we show the best of our quality work to the young one or to one that may not be at our industry yet. On the national level, I must put this as one of very good sample is like TCEP has been doing a lot of inviting or attracting international world recognized kind of event into the country. Like I got the privilege and an honor to be part of the mission inquiry of the Specialized Expo into the Phuket that Thailand is bidding. So that is part of the national level that we show to the people in all levels that, hey, this is what the business event industry is about. We make a great benefit to the country by attracting a very good events like that into the country. So why don't you join our industry to be part of this kind of proud moment? I might think too big, Kunjirut, but I feel that way. Like we show them and we keep doing what we are doing like on the national level and all the DMC level, that they have to also make sure that their work is professional and they really show to the community, to the industry that business event is great, great job. Yeah.
Emphasize the legacy of business events and the value of business events. Yeah, during the pandemic, a lot of focus is on the economic loss because of the absence of business events, right? So instead of focusing on the negative side, emphasize to the young people that this is a key pillar, a key economic pillar, so you could be part of holding up that pillar, right? Good question. Any other questions? We got one there. There's a mic right behind you, sir.
So I think I agree to what you are saying, that people who want to go away from the travel industry, probably they don't see the magic of the travel and tourism business. It's I think most interesting work job-wise, that you get to travel, you get to meet people. So I think the key word you're looking for is that, and since I'm in travel and tourism for the past 25 years, I'm giving away my age of being a senior, that even in this today's travel industry, I felt that people are moving away from the people's person perspective. And I think that's what you are after, the keyword. So we have to create in our education system in the university is that travel business is not only about commercialization. It's about the magic that you see the world, you meet people. It's about being people's person. And we have to get that perspective back in the travel industry to let the generation know that if you have this inside you, the people's person, then this is the industry you should work with. And then that kind of the breed of people who will not leave travel and tourism, even in this case of pandemic, and they will somehow manage to survive, and they will remain a part of the industry. So that's my point is we have to create an education system, passing the message to the university, to the school, to have this people's person perspective more clearly to the industry people and the future of people in the profession.
Yeah, I agree, sir. Thank you. And keyword magic. Yeah,
Magic,
I really liked your comments,
Agree
sir.
to
Thank
that.
you.
So we focus on retain the person who's still with us, with the motivational scheme or, educational pattern. And we also focus on the new talent that we mentioned, the next generation of leader, to let them see the passionate of this industry and the beauty of it and the magic of it. Yeah. So we can attract the new talent into our industry in the future.
That's right.
I think retaining also very important right now. Like we need to be more flexible and looking at like different plans.
Exactly.
People want to stay at home and then like working,
Yeah.
And
Because
then,
we don't know the reason behind why they're leaving the industry because of, sometimes it's not by choice, but by force.
Yeah, yeah. Do you also find that because of the changes that's happened in the pandemic that we are creating a more beneficial environment for the professionals that are staying? Like we're more open to flexible work hours, we're looking at better hiring conditions, retaining conditions as well.
I think, yes, it's really depending on the organizations and also the policy, whether you wanted to be innovative or not. In a way, there is a very good sharing from Penang. Esrim was mentioning about like how we can work together with the young profession right now. They don't want to work with us, but they want to be their boss. So they want to be own boss, but can we do something like they are still in the industry, but it's more on a more innovative way that how we can work with the younger generation that they supply services. We don't really employ them as like a full employee anymore, but work like contractual. So it's just being flexible or I think that's something that we need to think about right now is happening.
Yes.
As a business owner, they have to be very ready about that. Retaining is also very important. So for my very own company, I have to think a lot now. So I took a lot of learning during this pandemic. So I exercise, work from anywhere, I exercise lean management, I exercise a lot of things. So I think this is very important. But you have to also look back. You can't over-reward the existing at the same time because you were suffering as a business owner before. So it has to well balance in the way. So, but that's very important how you're going to have the mutual benefit for both sides, owner and also the one that's still left with us or something like that.
I think nobody will have a good answer until we really experience and then build more case studies. Yeah.
I think we need to tailor some, benefit or coaching program for individually. So we cannot have just only one thing fit to all. Yeah. So yes,
it's quite clear that talent is a big concern for this industry. It's a topic that everyone can respond to and contribute to.
We also focusing too much on youth as well. What about those that really interested to work?
The mid-career switchers, right?
Yeah, there are many people out there right now. They are still, like if we give enough opportunities or training, that will be beneficial to the industry too.
Point. Okay, great. We have time for one more question. We've got a lady over there.
Yeah. Hello. See you all again. Nice to see you all again. I'm from Korea Mice Association. So, we've been talking about the sustainability quite a long time, but I think and I can feel that there have some changes during the pandemic. So I wanted to hear all sides, TCEP and ICAS, any changing strategy for the sustainability, or we usually call as an ESG these days. So yeah, please share your organization's strategy.
Mm-hmm.
Lady first again.
It is a major concern that all over the globe, and it's everyone need to take it seriously. And TCEP, we have implementing the tools we call the carbon footprint avoidance calculators to help our even owner and organizer to PMs in advance to reduce the carbon emission rather than to, caught up by the carbon offsets. And that will be the key criteria for our organization when we provide some support to event owner or the organizer to organizing events in Thailand. And also we not just only provide that too, we educate the market about the sustainabilities. They have a lot of like 3 elements, not just only environmental, but also social and economic that you can look into. Yeah, that we do with the other partner that we have.
That's definitely the key topic in a way that we are in ICA. That's always the sessions to talk about it. And like to anchor what you were saying, TCEP actually is the role model. And there's a lot of case study to share. Like we also would like to also emphasize on to helping our members because some might be just started and some members in Europe that already achieved pretty high. But what is the progress and things like that. And that's something that we should bring together and share. That's where ICA Congress, the coming ICA Congress will have some topics talking about that as well. Yeah.
Shanka.
Sorry.
Sorry.
So I think at site we do focus on this a lot. So we call sustainable champion. We appointed 2 of them amongst our board members. So last year we did one of the I would say, a very proud program under my presidency. We call Sustainable Advocacy Program. And we attract over 150 students around Thailand to join the program. So we have created this program with TCEP. So at first we're going to have like a boot camp for all the 150 students, for them to get to know about sustainable events canvas kind of thing, how they are planning the events by using the SDG into the program. So we had that boot camp, and after that we have the presentation day to all the 150 students and learning from a big corporate like BMW to share on their sustainable initiative, something like that. So this is a 3 years program that we are going to work with TCEP along the way. So we do think that this is a very, future and the key element that everyone in our industry should take into
Practicing. I think that's very important, whereby that we always look at the concept. What is going to be practical to utilize? Is it we have to follow all the guidelines? Can we really achieve that? Maybe not, but can we do baby steps and then we start practicing? That will be what we're talking about. Not to change too much, but in a way that we're sustainable. Yeah.
And just to see the result when they present it, it's so overwhelming because their ideas and their better understanding about this element is very, very great. And then this year we're going to have it again before the year ends. So please watch the space, and we welcome all industry friends to join and witness this kind of ideas from the young leaders.
That's great. I've got one more question coming up.
Ian from Conference Meetings World. As more TCEP related, do you think subvention funding is more important now since the pandemic, or do you find events coming back easy?
Support the events owner or the organizer. We would like to tackle what the pinpoint of their, when they're organizing problem in Thailand. If the pinpoint is subvention, yes, subvention still have, high impact. But sometimes we find out that actually subvention is not, a key factor for them to organizing an event in the destination. So they would love to have some smooth or support on facilitation with the government authorities to ensure that events will run smoothly in the destination. That's the key factor for them. Yeah.
Okay. Thank you so much for your time at this session, and thank you so much to Kun Max, Kun K, and Wai Kin.
Thank you, Ka.